All right. Well, how's it going, everybody? We're back with the Millennium Falcon build, and today I'm going to be working on Chapter 6. So this will be the front portion, just the skeleton frame, and so I'll just be chatting a bit and having more fun building this. So let me just get all these bags open. There's quite a few parts in this section, so it may take a bit, but that's okay. You may also notice that I've got the book on the other side today, and I've rearranged the setup a little bit. The Millennium Falcon was getting so big that I needed more room, so I've added another table over here for my computer and monitor and everything. And now this whole table is just devoted to Legos. Because evidently this build is so big it takes up my entire dining room table. A lot of these little joint pieces here. I imagine it's going to be this section, based on how far it comes out and everything, I imagine will have to be quite strong. I hope everybody had a good Thursday. Still not much to report. Okay. Well, we're getting started. And here we go. We'll see how long this takes. Last time I did a single chapter, it took about an hour and 20 minutes. I think I'm going to stick with this schedule a little more. It's a lot easier than trying to do 2 chapters every time, because that usually ends up taking around 2.5 hours, which is fine, but it means I'm doing this real late, and I run out of things to say in 2.5 hours. Not that I'm going to be an expert and be able to ramble on for an hour and 20 minutes, but there's less time spent of me just sitting there being awkward. This will be cool because when I'm finally done with this section, we'll have the entire skeleton outline of the Millennium Falcon and we can see how big it's going to be. And that'll help me plan out future builds too and make sure I have enough space on the table. At the rate I'm going, it's going to take, let's see, this is chapter 6. I got 11 more chapters. At this rate, it's still going to take me almost another 4 weeks to finish this build at streaming 3 times a week. So that's exciting. But eventually it'll be done. And then I'll have to figure out some place to put it. Oh, I'll have to build a second one of those. I think I talked about before how I feel like I'm getting faster at these builds, but actually I think time is just passing faster because I'm getting used to it and getting zoned in. Oops, got it. Nice save. I think I'm getting better at being on camera too. It's hard to say, but I'm more comfortable in front of the camera and I can usually segue into things and talk a little better. So hopefully that'll help out when we move into the next projects on this channel. Oops. Lots of little pieces in this one. I'm going to be throwing them all over the place. So how's everybody's day going? Any interesting stories or things to talk about? I've got a few things, but we've got at least an hour or so to get this done, so don't see any point in using up all my talking points just yet. All right, those first two pieces are done, and it looks like these are going to go on here as mounting brackets. There we go, and the other side. Cool. All right. And now we get to build the big skeleton piece that comes off the front here. This is going to be one of the biggest pieces yet that I have to build off to the side and then attach at the end. So we'll see how easy that is to do. Some of these pieces, just the way they mount and where they go, it's really hard to kind of clip them on. You feel like you're going to break something. Okay, it's down. Go. Lots of little pieces. Oh no. Okay, I think I can figure this out. They've been pretty good so far about giving me, when I have pieces that are the same but just slightly different colors, they've been moving them into different chapters so I don't accidentally use the wrong color piece. But now I've got these tiny little 1x1 flat bricks that are coming two different shades of gray, and I have to guess from this booklet here which shade it's talking about because it doesn't always match what it looks like in the book here. Okay, where are the, there they are. I still can't believe that there's 11 more chapters after this one. I'm hopeful based on where I am in the book that actually some of the chapters after this are going to be much shorter. At least it seems that way. But we'll see what happens. Just because there's less pages doesn't mean they're not just as complex. I'm currently on page 194 out of about 500. So quite a ways to go. Which piece was that? Oh, never mind. Okay. It's having me build one side of this frame at a time. And I kind of wish it would let me have build both next to each other. Just obviously the symmetrical flip. But it's probably a good thing it doesn't too, because I definitely would find a way to get that confused and mess it up. Okay. What am I looking for? These pieces. Quiet night so far. Nobody has anything they want to talk about right now. That's fine. I'll just ramble on to myself for a little bit. Well, there really is. This is a lot bigger than I was expecting. I think it's going to come like right there. So, yeah. Okay, shorter piece. Can't imagine how much reinforcement there's going to have to be in this section just to keep it from breaking when it has to hold everything up. Because not only does this frame have to hold up itself, it has to hold up all the decoration on top of it, all the little detail pieces and everything that stick off the front of the Millennium Falcon. What am I looking for? This piece. Cool. Was that right? I might have gotten... No, that is right. Okay. I got several pieces here that are the exact same, but slightly different lengths, so I keep questioning myself if I picked out the right one. Right, and some of these. We're almost to page 200. That'll be cool. All right, some small detail sections. So we are going to be doing some of the outer hull along this frame piece too, which is probably why there's so many parts and we're just one of these, but that's pretty cool. Slowly be coming together. Oh, there we go. I'll throw some of these on there. See, this is where I really need a close-up cam so that you all can see exactly what I'm doing here, because I'm sure that far away, unfortunately, I had to zoom this camera way out to take everything in. I can zoom in a little closer, but then I can't get the whole height, get me and the whole table in the picture as well. Two of these. There we go. We'll keep going. All right. There's so many different tiny pieces here. Man, no wonder they were able to easily make this set like 7,500 pieces. It's just, there's so much tiny detail pieces that are required. Something doesn't seem right. Oh, I got something wrong here. There we go. This is gonna be a nightmare every time. Okay, that's that, and then a little vent piece. There we go. And we'll keep going. So I've talked in the past how I got to figure out the next project to do for this channel. And I decided I was talking about possibly making this clear, either glass or acrylic desk, and with mounting points inside, so you could literally build a PC inside of it. You know, put the motherboard and GPU and all the things in it, and it would uh, it would just look really cool and everything. And I really want to do that. It seems like such a good idea, but it's a big project, and I don't have the resources to exactly build it once I'm done designing it. I could really just design it and look at the files and go, okay, that looks cool, and that's about it. But oops, I think I'm gonna do that anyway. I'll design anyway, and maybe it'll look really cool and go from there. So in order to do that, I am going to be, where does this go? This is what I get for trying to see everything in here. Grab some of these other parts. So what I'm going to do, sorry, losing track of thought, is do it anyway. And I am going to start off by designing the pieces I would need for it. So one of the things I want to do is light it up with LEDs with Neopixel strips, which Neopixels are this really cool kind of light strip where with the right programming and the right wires connected, you can change the color of the lights individually. So each light can turn a different color at the same time, and you can set basically any RGB value, which is neat. Not only that, you can switch the colors of them several hundred times per second for a small strip, or dozens of times per second for a really big one, which means you can make really cool light displays with them. So I'm going to do that and use those so that I can light up the desk. But what I'm going to do is design a library and program it and everything to make it really modular and easy to adapt to other projects. So I can have a lighting system that I can put in anything. All I'll have to do is pick the number of lights I want and then decide what the light display is going to look like, and then I can use it on lots of other projects. And I think that's going to be a lot of the basis for how this whole channel goes initially, is just trying to make things in such a way that we can reuse them later. I'm not sure that's the piece I wanted there, but I don't see a better option. Yep. And that way I can build off things and make cooler stuff than one-time project uh, things. Oh, I see how that goes on now. Okay. This whole night's going to be me trying to look over here and see what's on this page because it's so far away. And the pieces that I'm adding are so small and hard to see. There we go. So that should be cool though. We'll see. We'll see what results from that, and I'll have to come up with a solid plan for it. I don't know exactly how I want to make it modular. if I'll still have to program a bunch of stuff and whatnot. So I've picked out some of the parts that I'm going to get. The lighting display, I just buy just one to demo it. I just need a relatively small strip of Neopixels from Amazon. And then I will grab a power supply as well to light the whole thing up, because surprisingly enough, Neopixels require a lot of power, just the way they're designed. So I'll get all that, and then I will, I think I have a little Arduino type thing here that I can use to go ahead and program it and drive it. And we'll see what we can come up with. There we go. And I think that's everything in that piece. Wow, there is so much detail that is going into this thing. I really hope I don't miss anything, because I'm never ever gonna know. There's so much detail here, I can't possibly see what I've forgotten. There we go. That on, and then we need one of these. Oh, that's a piece I was looking for earlier. Well, cool. Drop that right there. So there you go. I used the wrong piece earlier, but thankfully I had to use the correct one here, so I was able to recover and figure that out. I apologize for how slow this build is going, but I'm having to take it really slow because of how much detail there is and how many little pieces there are. And if I just speed along trying to see the differences right here, I'm going to forget things. And then I'm going to be really confused later. Should go faster when I build the other side though. There's a lot less parts to search through. Okay. Go. As usual, Windows wants to update, but now would not be a good time. That's not what I need. I'm looking for this jagged piece. It's just a single piece. Oh, here it is. Cool. And then these go in here. So anyways, back to the topic earlier of building the computer desk. It should be pretty neat. We'll have to figure out a CAD program that I can use to design the actual desk and get it all worked out, and then I guess get quotes and price out how much it would be. But I suspect a lot of custom cut glass or acrylic of that size is going to be pretty pricey. Excuse me. There we go. Cool. All right, set this off to the side, build something else for a little bit. Oh, this is one of the mounting points. It appears the Falcon uses these hinge pieces to mount to on the end here. So this part's going to have to actually be pretty strong. So we'll see how it goes. I wonder how long it'll take me to complete the desk project. I wouldn't think that long, but pretty much everything takes longer than you first expect. That was not the piece I needed for that. This one was. There we go. Okay. Stacking a lot more detail pieces. Tonight's build is actually going to take a little while, I can kind of tell, just because of all the little parts and pieces. Even though it doesn't, size-wise, physically appear to be that much, there is quite a lot going on here. It doesn't help that I'm constantly not being able to find the parts I need. Hmm. Well, I know I need that and that. And let's see here. Oh, there we go. Took me forever to find that little piece. It's one of the downsides, unfortunately. I can't just skip ahead because so much stuff is built on top of other things. But I guess that's true of most Lego in general. It's a quiet night out there tonight. Usually I get a few people in the chat, but it doesn't really seem like anybody's very chatty tonight. Not a lot going on. You know, it would be a great project, some sort of image recognition software where you could like point your camera at a pile of Legos and it'll highlight the piece that you need. Wonder how hard that would be to make. It probably wouldn't be easy, that's for sure. But it would be really neat. I'll add that to the list of projects for one day. If this channel gets big enough and enough people are willing to collaborate and help out on stuff. Okay. Lots more little detail pieces. Okay, and this piece. There we go. And then I believe we get to clip this section onto here. Oh, it's got a lot of its mounts and things already built in. Cool. Okay, let's keep going. Looks like we're almost finished with this big chunk. Bet this is gonna look really cool once it's on here, though. I'm gonna have to turn the Falcon or something, because there's with this thing on here, there's not gonna be room for me to actually work. I assume it's gonna be going right about there-ish. So yeah, I have to turn it out of the way because I'm not gonna have room here to do anything. Okay, another little mounting piece. Whew. I'm already getting hungry. I can feel my stomach growling. All right, don't think about food. Think about Legos. And this piece clips on erasure. There we go. Oh, it's getting there. This is getting exciting. We're getting close to being able to put it on this thing, I can tell. That probably means we have like 17,000 more steps to do. There we go. I'm like skipping around steps here, and I really need to stop doing that, or I'm going to mess something up and be really disappointed. All right, there we go. And one more. This piece goes here. Oh, missed one. Wow, there's like 4 different types of these blue post pieces. I always need a very specific one. Oh, okay, got it. Another big mounting piece. I can't wait to work on other engineering projects. Legos are fun, but like the commentary is tricky because it's basically me just saying a lot of the same stuff over and over again. There's only so many different ways you can say, got that piece on, looking for this piece, you know. And while I'm practicing being able to multitask and talk about one thing and do something else, it's still really hard for me and probably not a skill I'll ever really master. So I need something interesting to work on that I can talk about at the same time. I don't know why I think engineering is going to be any better there, because while I'm designing something, there's no way I'm going to be able to do commentary at the same time. I'm going to have to stop and say something and then keep working. Okay, check something real quick. There we go. Sorry. Get that other side on. This is going to be probably the piece that's on the front here on the inside. So it does have to be pretty strong. How's it going? I've just been pretty much talking to myself all night. But how's your Thursday been? This is chapter 6. Oh, wow, those are these little flat pieces going on. Good. I probably need to get out and exercise more. It's just hard with it being so cold out. Looking for a really weird piece here. Oh, maybe not. Okay. All right, got that done. Probably about 22 pounds, I think. That's just the weight of the box was 33. I'm just subtracting out what I think everything else weighed. All the extra stuff that was in the box, including the instruction manual here. So yeah, I'd say give or take around 20. I know, it's gonna be really scary every time I have to move it around and pick it up. Because not only is it heavy, but it's also really delicate. There we go. Oh man, this piece is getting so close. Yeah, you and me both. I get really nervous. Right, cool. Oh, and I missed one more. Where does this go? I would hate to see it fall apart too. That would be tragic. That would be really disappointing. Wow, there's so much detail going on in this section. these are... Okay. I got a lot of pieces tonight on here that are exactly the same, but just slightly different colors. Like literally two different shades of gray. I'm having a hard time figuring out what's what while looking at this book. Oh, good. I always like a good sunset. Alright, looks like it's time to mount this big piece. This is going to be wild. Oh, I hope this doesn't fall apart or anything. That would be really disappointing. So that's how they hold it up. It's cool. Come on, there we go. Alright, there's the front nose going on. And it looks like I flipped a building the other side. So I'm going to have to turn this because there is no way I can... It's now getting so huge that it's getting in the way of everything. So I'm knocking over the entire crew over there. Alright, so I apologize for this, I'll move this over here a bit, making it hard to see what I'm actually working on. I'll try and work on this side a little more, but I really don't have any options. There's just not enough room on this table anymore. I can't imagine when I'm working on the last chapter and this thing's just like huge and in the way, and I'm just over here off to the side, barely able to do anything. Let's see. There we go. Lots of little tiny pieces that I'm only using one of or so. Make it really hard to find them later. There we go. So this is basically going to be the same as this other piece I just put on here, except it'll go on the other side when I'm done. So, gotta do everything I just did, but do it backwards symmetrically. Hope I don't mess it up. is in the wrong spot. How typical. This is slightly different than I have it on that side. I wonder if I messed something up. As usual, have to go back and look later. Oh, maybe not. This does look different, actually. Oh, weird. Alright, so it looks like both sides of this thing are actually more different than I thought. I'm finding that pretty confusing, but we will see. Now I'm gonna have to go look back in the movies and see if it really is this asymmetrical. No way you'd have the patience. I'm pretty well invested at this point. I have to have the patience. Especially as much money has been spent on this already. Plus, I enjoy this. It helps my brain just to disconnect a little bit and just work on this. Even though rambling to myself helps. Oh man, I'm looking for one of these hard to find pieces. Oh no, I'm not. Okay. Yeah, it looks like already both sides of this thing are going to be pretty different. But that's cool though. So it means I won't be doing the same thing over and again. My computer keeps telling me it wants me to restart. Give me just a second. I gotta make sure this thing isn't gonna just turn off on me. That would be really bad. Stop midstream due to Windows update. Although I bet that happens to people a lot more than they wanna admit. Okay, there we go. Changed my active hours. Hopefully now it will know better than to try and restart on me. Okay. Cool. Looks good. So this part takes a little while because there's so much detail that goes into this little chunk. So I have to put a ton of little extra pieces on. And it's even just hard for me to even see what all needs to happen. I wonder if when I'm done I can figure out a streaming setup where I can display this like in the background behind me. That'd be pretty cool. Just so everybody can always see like the first Inicus project in the background. The first thing we did. That would be really neat. moving along. The stack of pieces is getting smaller. And I've been doing this almost an hour now, so sounds about right. I wish I could do 2 chapters a night, because I really don't want this to take as long as it's going to. But I have to go for so long to do that. There we go. Alright, some of this is the same as it was on the other side. A lot of it's very different. That is there. And this goes here. Alright, I think that was all the pieces I needed. Page 214. Out of 500. This is such a good long project. I assume since this is going to be the last like major frame piece, the rest of this build is really just going to be adding detail over the whole thing and the coverings. So probably lots of like flat pieces and panels and that sort of thing. Should be interesting. It'd be cool to see it all go on. I'm still not totally sure if I'm doing a time lapse or a highlights video when this is done. I've already managed to lose footage for a couple of chapters. I figured out how to make that stop happening, but unfortunately that footage is lost. So that was a big disappointment. But I learned my lesson. If I was an animal, what would I be? Don't know. I really don't know. It's probably a good question to ask people that know me rather than myself. Okay, this jagged piece on here. Not sure what this is, but I had to build one for this side, so. Be an eagle. That's a good choice. I like eagles. Trying not to lose track of all these little pieces. I've only thrown something off the table twice, and I was able to find it both times pretty easily, so that's good. One of these days I know I'm just going to lose something small off the edge of the table here and just not be able to find it. And it's going to be really awful, and I'm not going to know what to do and how to continue the stream without getting the piece I need. Dolphin's a good choice as well. Uh-oh. I've noticed on the software I use when after so long it kind of resets and then I lose all my audio levels, and that's when I start asking if anyone can hear me and everything. Gotta find a better setup or something, or figure out why that's happening. This is very different than the other side. Wonder what the point of all this is. Uh-oh. Almost put that piece on before I needed to. All right. Getting closer. I'm gonna have to decide how to present this too once I have start working on other projects, because most of the work's probably gonna be done on my computer. So rather than doing this, I'll probably have to be sharing my screen and stuff. That actually will probably work out a lot better because I don't have to worry about this big wide view. All right, getting to that point where I'm starting to use up the last of a bunch of different pieces, which is cool. It means I'm getting closer. This might be a record short stream tonight. Do you get tired? Yeah, absolutely. I do get tired doing this. That's why I had to shorten to doing one chapter every time, is because my brain eventually just wears down. And I just can't focus. And like, I usually can focus, but I can't really keep the commentary up at the same time. Day 18 of no sugar. That's cool. Sounds like it's really hard to keep that going, but probably well worth it. Man, there's a bunch of little extra pieces here. Or maybe not. Just some. There we go. Try not to break any of this. Yeah, it helps to stress a little bit. I guess because I don't have to worry as much about what's going on or what I need to do. I can just sit here and follow the instructions. And I get enjoyment out of seeing the final product. I guess that's true. Once you build up the habit, that helps out quite a bit. Oh wow, I completely missed some steps here. There we go. Cool. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Doesn't look like it. All right. Oh, we're getting so close. Set that over there for now. I do genuinely think, oh, thank you. Glad you find it relaxing. That's one of the things I was kind of hoping for out of it. I forgot what I was just about to say. Oh, I do think these chapters are getting shorter. Like, as time goes on, I might be able to start doing 2 chapters a week. Yeah, I bet first few days is the hardest. Oh no. Okay, there it is. Didn't fall on the floor. Thank you. Thankfully. Uh-oh. Put one of these pieces on backwards. There we go. I'll pop that on. Oh man, it's getting close. The only downside of this too, though, is once I finish this section, it's gonna be less obvious every time what I've actually done differently. So hopefully, all of you all watching won't have too much trouble seeing what I'm doing. I think I am gonna have to find a way to prop this book up too. I don't know why, but the lighting just seems darker here tonight. I know why. I move things around, but I'm using the same lights, just in slightly different locations, so I don't know why it seems so much darker. Hmm. Yeah, that was all those pieces. Cool. This will be the inside brace on the other side. And then we'll have the entire skeleton frame on the Millennium Falcon, which is going to be really cool because then you'll see exactly how big this thing is turning out to be. Oh, I thought I was missing a piece. All right. Ooh, getting closer. Okay, it's going on this part. There we go. Almost feels like there wasn't as much detail on this side as there is on this side over here. There we go. And drop this vent piece on here. Ah, oh, it's getting so close. How many parsecs will it take to make the Kessel Run when it's complete? I don't know. I would say like, that is actually a really good question. I would say like 11 and a half, give or take. Uh, but of course we'll round down, just to make sure. Almost there. The number of parts on the table is getting quite a bit smaller. Ah, I keep throwing these little pieces everywhere. There's so many tiny little pieces in this section because there's so much detail. I can imagine it's only going to get worse when I'm having to do the top of the whole thing. All right. Well, I think this really is going to be the shortest stream yet. Okay. I just have to get this piece on here without breaking anything. Oh, hold on. I feel like I missed something. Because there's a spot here for this little antenna piece that looks like it's supposed to be there. Give me just a second. Yep, found it. That's the part with the downside of these tricky detailed sections. Yeah, after each chapter I have leftover parts. And actually what I do is I take a little baggie and put them in there and label it with the chapter numbers, so that way if it looks like I missed something from a previous chapter, I can go get the extra parts from that chapter. Most Lego sets come with like 10 extra pieces or so, but this one seems to have about 10 extra pieces for every chapter, so I'll still have, a few hundred extra parts left over at the end. All little small things that are easy to lose. Okay, this part. Oh, now I know why that. So this piece, unlike this other side, has this cutout right here, but I guess that's where the tunnel for the cockpit is going to go, which makes sense. All right, trying to do this without breaking anything. Oh, that's not right. Come on. I can do this. There we go. And then that slides in there to hold that. And I just need to line these pieces up. There we go. Okay. Push this out of the way and slide this over so we can see just how big this is getting. You could build an entire BB-8 with the leftovers, probably, if they were the right pieces. All right, so check that out. My dining room table is big enough for like 6 people, and this thing is pretty much almost taking it over if you ignore the book. Wow, that's enormous. That's cool. All right, well, that's probably all I'm going to do for tonight, because to do another chapter would take a really long time. I know, right? It's insane. So I'm going to pick this up carefully and tilt it so you can see just kind of how wide it is too, because there's so much to it. And in front of me, like, it pretty much covers up my entire torso. Okay, there we go. So, thank you for joining me tonight on this quiet Thursday night. Next stream will be on Sunday. I put the stream schedule on my Twitch page now, and I've turned on saving of the videos, so now all the videos I do will be saved for 2 weeks on Twitch as well, which should help. Well, that would help me in case I lose it again or something, lose the recording. I can at least go back and find it later. But yeah, pretty neat. So I'll go through and inspect and make sure I didn't miss any parts, because I probably did. And see y'all Sunday for Chapter 7, which I believe is going to be some of the underpaneling on the front here. All right, have a good night.